got sorry, was that he made the liner as bald as he is. Fair officials meant that all of London's shocking handling got picked up.
Yeah,
very good, Dr. Hideous.
Doesn't sound like it worked out this week for them.
No.
Sheffield 6, Halifax 42, and Barrow 20, Batley 18 in a closely contested game at Craven Park there. So that's the championship wrapped up. Toronto stay top and have 23 points. Toulouse's win over Fev moves them up to second on 20 points and above Fev only on points difference. London with 16 points just stay ahead of Leeds and Halifax, but only on points difference now. Batley in 7th have 10. Barrow have 8. Dewsbury and Sheffield have 6. Rochdale now have 4, but stay 11th. Swinton stay bottom on just 1 point. So the championship, very much like the Super League, is a two-tier kind of affair there, with the top 6 separated handsomely from the bottom 6. Into League One, it was round 9. London Scholars 18, Doncaster 42 on Saturday, I think. Hemel 12, Workington 60, Bradford 124, West Wales 0, Oldham 28, Newcastle 12, Whitehaven 22, North Wales 25, so a bit of an upset game there, you would think, so well done to North Wales. Hunslet 24, York 26. York had run away with this early on, but Hunslet made it a close game in the end. And then Keighley 98, Coventry Bears 6. Bradford's points difference boost takes them back to the top, with York second. Both have 14 points. Doncaster in third have 12. The chasing pack of 4 sides are all on 10 points there. Keighley, Workington, Whitehaven and Oldham. 8th and 9th place Newcastle and Hunslet have 8 points. North Wales and Scholars have 7. Coventry have 1 win for 2 points in 12. And Hemel and West Wales remain pointless as the bottom 2. One game from the Women's Super League to bring you quickly before we get on to some NRL results. And that was Castleford 14, Wigan 14. I think the Castleford fullback Tara Stanley and back rower Katie Hepworth were important in coming back. Wigan's captain Gemma Walsh got sin-bin late in the game, which helped create a platform to Castleford score a last-minute equalising try in an exciting game there at the Jungle. Into the NRL, where it was round 9. Feel free to interject on any of these games that you have things to say about, Rich, because obviously you'll have followed them more closely than we will have. On Thursday, it was the Broncos 22, the Bulldogs 20, and some refs' fault. Arama has got a fine for the Bulldogs coach.
Well, yeah, a last minute, literally last play of the game penalty to the Bronx under the posts for an obstruction and a consequential sin binning. Total bang on call, really. The Bronx obviously get lucky by being able to win a game by putting the ball over the posts, but it was a dead set sin binning. So, the player running through, the Broncos player running through, I believe was Darius Boyd off the top of my head, was pulled back by Marcus Mbai. The Bulldogs fullback, and basically put an arm on his shoulder, pulled him back as he was going through to score. Don't think he'd have made the ball, probably should have left him alone. All things considered, it probably would have been a better option to let the ball. I know it's hindsight, but if he'd maybe tried to let the ball run out of play and he missed it, then they'd have won the game, opposed to pulling him back where they got penalised and lost the game. So they could have lost by 4 or lost by 2, and I think he went ended up losing by 2.
Okay.
So yeah, and the next game, if you want, Knights 18, Rabbitohs 36. George and Tom. Before you even wrote up, Mark made some notes that George and Tom, George made 149 metres and Tom made 147 metres, and they were both colossal in something of a resurgence for the Rabbits. I'm not a big Rabbits fan. I really like the Knights and what they're doing, but the Rabbits just ran over the top of them here.
And, it's good to see George get some form, because he's not really shown anything so far this year, where Tom's been outdoing him every step of the way.
It's certainly outshone him for maybe about 18 months or so.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, George is more bothered about that movie star hairstyle, isn't he, and flicking his hair around than getting down to hard work.
I whip my hair back and forth. Yeah.
It was the Panthers 20, the Cowboys 26.
Yeah, the Panthers, plenty of endeavour, but the Cows just got over the top of them.
Is this a problem with the Panthers not really having that creative? settle Craig, because is Thingy still out, the young halfback?
Clare is still out,
Yeah.
but in his place you've got James Maloney, who should be able to get him around the park, and Peachy chiming in the halves, and plenty of other options. His name escapes me right now, but the Panthers' young fullback as well. He's out for, I think, for the season or for a while. So yeah, everybody's struggling, but it's the NRL. It's a tough comp, and if you don't turn up, you get beat. So, but the Cowboys had too much.
On to Saturday's games, the early televised game over here was the Raiders 32, the Titans 18. It was on too early for me to get up and watch it. Elliot White played in this one for the Raiders, who enjoyed another win. It was the Warriors 26, West Tigers 4. I thought the Warriors were pretty good value for this game.
Absolutely.
From what I saw, they scored some cracking tries. Although Sean Johnson looks like he's humbled himself again.
He does. Yeah. Look, but I think in a way the score flatters the Tigers. And for those who don't know, I do follow the Tigers over here, so they're my team. And essentially, the Warriors it looked like men against boys at times, and the Tigers had no answer for it. And I think the fact that the score was 26-4 sort of flatters the Tigers in a way in terms of they defended really well, and I think that's basically the Warriors were just rolling at will, and literally the Tigers were just scattered defensively and on the back foot for what felt like the entire game. And it was just the fact that we only conceded 26 was credit to the Tigers' defence, but the Warriors just looked pretty much like men against boys at times.
Being a Sydney side as well, you're a blue for when it comes to Origin, aren't you?
Certainly
down under.
Yeah.
What
100%.
do you think of Blake Green getting a chance for the Blues? Do you think that could be warranted? I mean, for me, he's been as good as any half in the comp this year.
I agree. I don't disagree with that at all. I think he'll probably. My gut feeling is he wants to go with a big 5'8". This is Freddie Fittler, and Jack Bird's name keeps coming up, but week in, week out, he's just shit for the Broncos. So is he doing it?
Is he really? He's playing 7 most of the time.
He's been playing 5'8".
Oh, has he?
So,
to be honest, I've not watched much of the Broncos this year. The only game I saw was that one that they robbed you lot.
Yeah. Well, they keep. Yeah, that's right. They keep trying to move him around, and he's had a couple of stints at 5'8" and just look really out of sorts. And I think, to be honest, Green's probably as good a shout as anybody. I've got a feeling he might go with Carey and Maloney.
Yeah.
But then you've got questions defensively. Carey at the Rabbits, despite some of their forms, been outstanding. But my gut feeling is
the Roosters.
Yeah, he'll probably. Did I say Rabbits?
Yeah.
I meant Roosters. I thought don't say Rabbits and said Rabbits. Yeah, Roosters. Yeah.
Easy mistake to make.
Absolutely. So yeah, he's going well at the Roosters, and he looks really sharp. But I think Green would be as good a shout as anyone. I just don't think maybe
players similar for me.
I think not defensively strong enough. That's why I go with someone like Green, or he wants to go with a big 5'8". But yeah, I think there'd be certainly defensive frailties by picking those two, and I agree with what you're saying. But I think Blake Green's has been as good as anybody in that position this season.
Okay. So. It was the Sharks 22, the Eels 20. It was the Dragons 34, the Storm 14. Big win for the top of the table Dragons. James Graham, 3 successful offloads, 126 metres. Gareth Widdop kicked 9 goals from 9 attempts in this one as well.
Look, that pack is by far the best pack in the comp. The halfbacks are by far the best halfbacks in the comp, and there's been I've heard commentators say that if you just got off, if you're an alien who got off a spaceship and you watch the NRL, you'd think Gareth Widdop was the best player in the world. He's playing out of his skin. So there's been plenty of fans in England who I've seen on forums and stuff say Widdop's not this and Widdop's not that, and Leeds have tried to sign him, and Leeds fans have been like, oh, Widdop's shit. He's unbelievable, and if people aren't seeing that, he's absolutely fantastic.
And he'll be back at 6, won't he, for England? We've got to suspect now with all the half injuries they've got.
Well, he's the best standoff in the NRL, so why would you play him anywhere else?
Even though he played so well at fullback in the World Cup. Roosters. It finished with Roosters 22, Sea Eagles 20 to finish off this week's games. The Dragons maintain their place at the top of the table with 16 points. The Warriors are second with 14 points. Panthers third with 12. The next 7 sides all have 10 points. Storm, Rabbitohs, Roosters, Tigers, Sharks, Broncos and Knights. The Raiders in 11th have 8 points. Next come the Cowboys and the Titans with 6. Then the bottom 3 all have 4. Sea Eagles, Bulldogs and Eels. Okay, we have a few reviews in from let's say a random selection of games this week, which is pretty cool to see. So we want to cover those off. I don't have scores for all of these games, but we have reviews. So I'll start with the Mighton under-9s versus the Cass Panthers under-9s. Joshua's granddad said, part of the Hull FC Fun Day, score might and not many, cast quite a few is the official scoreline for this game. Despite being mauled size-wise, they make them big in cast. I think 2 had already started shaving. The Mighton lads stuck to their task and defended gamefully. Attack was somewhat stifled by the speed and ferocity of the cast lads. Enjoyable to watch, even if bloody hot. And the sideline that Joshua's granddad hasn't mentioned, but Rob already covered earlier off, is Joshua McKenzie was man of the match for the Mighton Warriors under-9s in this game. So well done to Joshua. Tough effort in a losing performance by his side, but every credit to the young kid. Okay, in France, Saint Esteve Trésor 13 Catalan versus FC Lesignan in the Coupe de l'Or Derby semi-final. 38-26 it finished to the Catalan side. And Alan Walker got in touch to say, a masterclass from our halves. Joan Gauch and Lucas Albert against a team of Pizza Boy and Dicks for Fingers Pomeroy. Not surprised they're getting rid of Pomeroy. Not good enough for this level. This is despite him scoring 4 tries. Worse hands than a drunk Burgess twin. Love watching Gauch and Albert put on plays with fullback Jouffre. Both wingers, brothers Flovey, got on the score sheet. It's Lamu Grizzlies in the final, Visca Catalunya. Yeah, the Flovey brothers did well, and you got to wonder, I think one of the brothers got 4 tries as well as Pomeroy getting 4 tries in that. And then we have one about the Wakefield under-19s versus the Newcastle Thunder under-19s from Wakey White. He said, me and the missus decided to make the most of the sun and head down to Bellevue for a few beers and a bit of rugby league. I won't bore you with too many details that all but most ardent Wakey fans would care about, but it was a really intense game with Wakey's number 7, Tom Schofield, pulling all the strings. There was an excellent bit of biff at the end to boot. So so there you go, something to look forward to in the young half there for Wakefield, because Finn will need replacing at some point, won't he? Alright, that's everything. Some great reviews in there. Great to get some bits and pieces from other areas as well. And we're now going to move on to our previews and predictions, which this week is going to be about the Challenge Cup in the main. Okay, previews and predictions now, sponsored by Payroll Central UK Limited. They're a family-run business based in Derbyshire, offering an outsourced payroll service for businesses across the UK. Unlike many accountants who offer payroll as a side service, these guys are fully qualified payroll specialists who provide payroll services for businesses in every sector. Visit payroll-central.co.uk, and if you mention Super League Pod when you contact them, you can get 1 month's free payroll service and a 10% discount on their normal prices. Okay, it's round 6 of the Challenge Cup. That's or the Challenge Cup, as I've spelled it on the rundown here. Can't write. And so we've got 8 fixtures to run through to get our quick thoughts on. So it's all kicked off on Thursday night, 7:35pm Sky our time. So that'll be what? I don't know. You do the maths for yourself.
4:30. 4:35 a.m.
So you won't be watching this one?
Oh yeah, probably will. Yeah, I'll get up and watch it Friday morning before work, and then head into the office. 100%. Yeah.
So I mean, FC are dealing with some injuries, and Featherstone have got a pretty decent side in the Championship this year. They're going pretty well, but I still fancy the Super League side on balance in this one. I think it'll probably be a close-ish game. I've got Hull FC. What do you think?
Yeah, I concur. I think as much as I love Fev and love the area, I just think FC will have too much for him on the day.
Okay, Friday night, very interesting fixture this one, 7:35 kickoff again, Sky, and it's 2 games we've had, 2 sides have had some great encounters over the last couple of seasons. It's Lee versus Salford, and what do you think about this one?
I reckon I personally think there might be a couple of upsets in this round, and I reckon Lee are going to get Salford. And if I were Salford, I wouldn't be concentrating on the cup.
No, I think Lee have really found the form of late, and like you say, Salford, their focus is clinging onto that top 8 spot. They've not got a big squad
100%.
whatsoever, and I think their game against Wigan highlighted their lack of squad depth in a number of positions, prop forward and fullback being evidently the most of those. I actually think Lee's probably going to be able to put up